So quite a few of you have been asking me to cover something for quite some time. And because I see that this topic is not just going to go away, I want to address it so that we, of course, have a better understanding of what we are dealing with. Do you know what's funny? When I was a kid, I was excited about a science fiction-based, futuristic existence. I couldn't wait until there were robots walking around, flying cars, teleporters, laser weapons. Now that I think of it, I also didn't mind the idea of cybernetics. I thought AI was cool. All the things that I dread today. Because what happens is you wake up to the reality of what having those things around mean. So today we are going to take a closer look at Nooralink, because I understand how something like this could raise an eyebrow of concern. We at times get these attempts to lead us into some type of transhumanistic augmentation of our bodies. Let me tell you something, folks. There is no computer that can do what the brain does. They can't make it. In fact, the AI that they are trying to perfect, they realize that in order for AI to be true AI, it needs biological components. Do people really think that man can make a better computer than God? It is kind of what God said about the Tower of Babel, right? If you let man do this thing, then there is nothing he won't try and do. So instead of wondering what this is all about, instead of guessing or speculating, we can save our opinions for the end. So let's find out about this new breakthrough technology. It's not TNT for the brain. So, in order to understand this, we need to start with the brain. Now, in your brain, there are neurons, billions of neurons. There are several types of neurons. The job of the neuron is to send and receive information. And you can take a neuron and break it down into three parts: the dendrite, the cell body, and the axon. The dendrite receives the signal. The cell body processes the signal, and the axon transmits the signal. And this process happens almost instantaneously. You also have what are called synapses that connect the dendrites and axons of other neurons to each other, so that you have this network of neurons. In order for this network to work, in order for these neurons to send and receive signals, you need electrical current. So, the synapses release what are called neurotransmitters, which are molecules that cause current to flow across the membrane of the neuron. Neurons are excited by electricity, reacting to input called action potential. And this is what is detected when you place electrodes on the head. So now you can record the action potential of the neurons in the brain and take that recording and decode the information. Now the idea is, because we use electrodes that are placed on the outside of the brain, outside of the skull, the amount of information you get is dampened by the electrodes being placed on the head. If you want more detailed information, the electrodes have to be placed inside the brain. With this technology, you can now create neural stimulation that is more advanced. You can fine-tune the stimulation to create certain sensations, movements, and even correct movement disabilities. Now here is what Neuralink has to say about their approach. We're designing the first neural implant that will let you control a computer or mobile device anywhere you go. Micron-scale threads are inserted into areas of the brain that control movement. Each thread contains many electrodes and connects them to an implant, the link. The link, sealed implanted device that processes, stimulates, and transmits neural signals. Neural threads. Each small and flexible thread contains many electrodes for detecting neural signals. The charger. Compact inductive charger wirelessly connects to the implant to charge the battery from the outside. Precision automated neural surgery. The threads on the link are so fine and flexible that they can't be inserted by the human hand. Instead, we are building a robotic system that the neurosurgeon can use to reliably and efficiently insert these threads exactly where they need to be. The Neuralink app. The Neuralink app would allow you to control your iOS device, keyboard, mouse directly with the activity of your brain, just by thinking about it. Look at that, you don't have to use those pesky fingers anymore. So, this is the Neuralink in a nutshell. Right now, they want the applications of this technology to be known for assisting people with spinal injuries who have lost the function of their hands and arms, basically. Obviously, there would be very, very few people who would have this thing implanted just so they could be hands-free from a computer or cell phone. Actually, you know what? I take that back. There is probably a good-sized population of people who can't wait to get it. I almost forgot what planet I was on for a minute there. This is Earth. People do the craziest things here. Now, like I said in another video, folks, almost everything these scientists want to do, these engineers of products like this, and you'll notice this pattern, this routine to help people who are disabled. Isn't that the default reason for creating these things? This is why I don't believe them. There is one little statement in this entire website that stood out to me, and that was, what is Neuralink developing? Neuralink is building a fully integrated brain-machine interface system. Sometimes you'll see this called a brain-computer interface. Either way, BMIs are technologies that enable a computer or other digital device to communicate directly with the brain. For example, through information readout from the brain, a person with paralysis can control a computer, mouse, or keyboard. Or, information can be written back into the brain, for example, to restore the sense of touch. Right there, information can be written back into the brain. To top this all off, they want to implant this device that has Bluetooth connectivity. They want people to walk around with Bluetooths in their head. It's already bad for you outside of your head. By the way, you guys are still using Bluetooth devices around your head. You know, I don't want to hear anyone complaining about 5G if you are using a Bluetooth headset or headphones. Listen to me carefully. Those will make you stupid. You are literally cooking your brain every time you use them. I see people wearing them in the gym, cooking their brains for a good hour or so. Anyway, we have the Neuralink logo, the lamnesket or infinity symbol shaped like a pulse wave, the power, balance, the interconnectedness of all things. You know, I can't pretend to know what these guys are up to. Sometimes people do things without even knowing what they are doing. It's like they are being used by an unseen force. And see, we really don't know what this Neuralink is going to end up becoming. I'm sure there are others behind the scenes who have their own plans. It's like the RFID grain of rice microchip, right? What happened to that? Has it become something else? Has it evolved into something that would be more suited for a wider population? Right now, this Neuralink is still just a work in progress, a vision, really. We shouldn't worry, just understand. It just seems as though they just want an interface with our minds. There are those who may want us to use this technology in the future as a form of control, maybe. But then again, this is not the only company working on this technology. And if they can get into your head, they probably think they can erase God from your mind. And when you no longer know God, that is when you truly become non-human. There is more to come, more to look over. Until then, be sure to visit woodwardentertainment.com and the Woodward Entertainment Store. You can follow me on Instagram at jwoodward. Have no fear, folks. Just stay awake, stay aware, stay safe, and I'll talk to you all soon.